Hi there. Welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. We're still celebrating our great heritage, our great legacy. So today's program will not only showcase our rich culture, but also give you useful information to share with your family and friends. The magazine starts right now.
Jamaica comes alive for Jamaica 55. The Jamaica Information Service is inviting primary, secondary, and tertiary students to catch the vibes and join in the celebration by participating in this year's staging of the JIS Heritage Competition. Primary and prep school children, ages 9 to 12, enter the essay competition and tell us how you would want to see Jamaica in 55 years. High schoolers, enter the poster competition. Show us your artistic interpretations of Jamaica throughout her 55 years in a poster titled Jamaica 55. Posters may be designed digitally or illustrated. Zoom, click, snap. Yes, tertiary students, the photo competition is back. Capture an image that best represents Jamaica 55. For more information on the competition rules and how to submit entries, visit the JIS website at www.jis.gov.jm. You may also send an email to heritageessay@jis.gov.jm, heritageposter@jis.gov.jm, or heritagephoto@jis.gov.jm, or call us at 926-3590-4. The deadline for all entries is October 31, 2017. So ready, set, go for prizes galore. JIS Heritage Competition 2017, celebrating Jamaica 55.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Monday, October 23. The security forces are reporting continued early success in the Denham Town zone of special operations. During systemic searches on the weekend, the joint forces discovered a credit card scanning machine, which they say is used in the lottery scam and other fraudulent activities. A 9mm magazine and rifle cleaning kit were also found behind a house on Pink Lane on Sunday. Earlier, it was reported that 34 live rounds of ammunition had been recovered in the zone, and one man was arrested for breaching Section 21 of the Zone of Special Operations Act by providing false identification. The update from the ZOSO Communications Unit comes just shy of a week since Denham Town was declared the second zone of special operations by Prime Minister Andrew Holness.
The selected zone was deemed to have met the first order criteria for being considered and declared a zone. And those first order criteria would be ongoing gang warfare, rampant criminality, escalating violence and murder, and a threat to rule of law.
The special designation will remain in force for 60 days, during which time security operations will be accompanied by targeted social intervention measures. This morning, a team from the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDICOM, visited the community to check on persons who may be in custody and advise residents of their rights in relation to excessive use of force, among other things. The Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, will be expanding its house-to-house visits to ensure all licensed firearm holders inspect, renew, and get their guns certified without fear of prosecution. FLA CEO Shane Dalling says the visits form part of the agency's gun amnesty, which has so far yielded over $28 million from 1,200 persons. The house visits, which are done in partnership with the police, started in Kingston and St. Andrew in June. They have resulted in guns being recovered and ballistics testing done.
As it relates to those who have not come in, the police, along with the FLA, are now on the road, and we are visiting the persons, house-to-house visits, to find the holders. So far, we have found that many of these persons in the Kingston and St. Andrew area are dead. And we are now retrieving the firearms from the homes. There are very few we found are overseas. And so the drive continues.
Mr. Dalling was speaking Friday at a press conference to announce the new 5-member FLA board. The board, headed by National Security Advisor Major General Anthony Anderson, will start its 3-year duty on Tuesday. The Ministry of National Security is engaging influential Jamaicans to help empower young people in juvenile institutions under the mentoring arm of its We Transform program. The initiative was officially launched at the South Camp Road Juvenile Correctional and Rehabilitation Center recently. At the same time, Miss Jamaica World 2017, Solange Sinclair, was introduced as the newest mentor for the program. She joins artists Jermaine Edwards and Jeffrey Agent Sasko Campbell, model Casey Fennell Shirley, and singer-songwriter and media personality Naomi Cowan. They have been going around to various juvenile institutions engaging the youth. Minister of State in the National Security Ministry, Senator Pernell Charles Jr., says the contribution of the mentors will help to lift the spirits of the wards and motivate them to look beyond their current situation. We Transform also involves engaging youth in training in academics, vocational education, and employability and life skills. They are also offered internships or job placements and take part in an annual competition and exposition where they can showcase their skills and talents. The National Health Fund, NHF, is financing a $3 million refurbishing of the Ramble Health Center in Hanover. The project will benefit over 6,000 outpatients who access the primary healthcare facility. The scope of work, which started recently, includes painting, termite control, repairing damaged electrical fixtures, and replacing malfunctioning toilets. The health center has also been made more secure with the replacement of doors and door frames. The Bustamante Hospital for Children now has a state-of-the-art learning center following the recent donation of several computers and accessories. The items were provided through the Governor General's I Believe initiative and include computers and printers donated by the United States-based charity Friends of Jamaica Seattle. An air conditioning unit was also donated and installed by Appliance Traders Limited. Expanded Wi-Fi service to facilitate internet access in the Learning Center is being provided free of cost by telecommunications company Flow Jamaica. Senior Medical Officer at the hospital, Dr. Micheline Richards Dawson, says this will help cater to the early education of children who have to be at the hospital for long periods of time.
And we really want to thank you for your contribution because we believe that what we do here also sets a foundation for many children going back home. So while they're away from school, it is important we continue the education. It's part of the whole healing process that they feel positive about themselves.
An additional 8 desktop computers are to be delivered to the institution soon. Other stakeholders in the initiative are the Ministry of Health and the Southeast Regional Health Authority. And finally, the Bureau of Gender Affairs has partnered with Men of God Against Violence and Abuse, Mogava, and other groups to launch a new miniseries that promotes positive stories about Jamaican fathers and mobilize men to be productive members of society. Titled Amazing Dads, the miniseries is also being supported by the AIDS Healthcare Foundation and the Management Institute for National Development, MIND. Minister with Responsibility for Gender Affairs, Olivia Grange, has welcomed the initiative.
The Amazing Dads miniseries is a well-needed platform, ladies and gentlemen. It's a platform needed to highlight the positive roles of men, notably our Jamaican fathers.
As part of Amazing Dads, fathers of exemplary character will be interviewed to share the role they play in their children's lives and the influence it has on their children's behavior. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
We got to be careful when using pesticides.
All right, Richie.
Oh, go on.
Can you out for mash up some spraying idea?
Yeah, I go spray them corn there.
So, are the 3 wearing the protective gear?
Boy, the sun too hot for suit up here, man.
So you did read the label before you start? Wear protective gears. Your goggles, your respirator, your gloves, and a coverall. At least you did have on a cap. Mix only what you need for the day. Use only on the crops listed, and if some chemical left over, make sure you store it in the original container.
For more information, call the Pesticides Control Authority at 754-9306.
At 5:48, a full-strength JCF, JDF joint force was in control of the area to be termed the Denham Town Zone of Special Operations.
And
housing is an all-inclusive goal. No one should be left behind. We must offer solutions to everyone.
You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Acting on the advice of the National Security Council, Prime Minister Andrew Holness declared Denham Town as the second zone of special operations last Tuesday.
The selected zone was deemed to have met the first order criteria for being considered and declared a zone. And those first order criteria would be ongoing gang warfare, rampant criminality, escalating violence and murder, and a threat to rule of law.
The zone will be in operation for the next 60 days, and Prime Minister Holness will make a statement to Parliament within 14 days of its declaration.
Residents can expect to encounter checkpoints, cordon and searches, curfews, targeted operations, and residents should be prepared to provide identification. I am encouraging all residents to be positive in their interactions with the security forces. This is an opportunity for residents of the area to work with the security forces to rid their area of the criminal element.
And the security forces have already recorded successes in the declared zone. On Thursday, 34 rounds of ammunition were seized and one person arrested for attempting to use false documents to exit the zone. On Saturday, a credit card scanning machine used in lottery scamming was recovered. A 9mm magazine and rifle cleaning kit were also found in the Denham Town zone of special operations on Sunday. Housing was the focus of Prime Minister Holness's presence in the second city on Wednesday. At the opening ceremony of the inaugural Regional Housing Conference, Mr. Holness committed his government to giving Jamaicans access to safe and affordable housing. He said a number of initiatives were being undertaken as part of the national housing policy. Among them, the creation of a third city to ease urban overflow, the passage of the New Building Act, restructuring of the National Housing Trust and the Housing Agency of Jamaica, and the use of the proposed Morant Bay Town Centre as a blueprint for the planning of future towns.
This approach must be strategically done by constantly asking and answering. Who are we building for? What are we building? Where are we building? And how are we going to make it accessible and affordable?
On Saturday night, Prime Minister Holness dispatched Minister Horace Chang to represent him at the 30th anniversary banquet of the Factories Corporation of Jamaica, FCJ. Dr. Chang lauded the FCJ for the work to overhaul its image following the fallout in the manufacturing sector of the 1990s. The agency now has 1.7 million square feet of rentable commercial and industrial space, with another 1.5 million square feet to come on stream. Micro, small and medium enterprises are also being targeted with the provision of affordable workspaces. Strategic investments are being placed in the island's infrastructure by making them more energy efficient. Over 30,000 persons are expected to benefit from jobs in the sector. And Dr. Chang committed his government to the education and training of a knowledgeable, skilled and disciplined workforce.
I'm pleased that the Factories Corporation of Jamaica has actively engaged with the HOPE program by placing several HOPE interns across Factories Corporation departments. Improving the employability of our young people is of critical importance to the country's growth and job creation agenda.
On Sunday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness called for a multi-pronged approach to reducing fires and their causes on the island. The occasion was the annual Fire Safety Week church service. His message was delivered by Councillor for the Duhaney Park Division, Joyce Young.
Communities need to organize meetings and visits with their local fire stations to inform them about hazardous material, garbage disposal, and dangers posed by lighting fires.
My recollection of him was, first of all, his pleasantness. A very pleasant individual. You would say he's a gentle giant. Man, don't let anything bother him. A man who was more for peace and resolution than for conflict.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Saturday paying tribute to former councillor for the Islington Division in St. Mary, Dave Morris. Mr. Morris passed away on September 19. He was 47. Back at Jamaica House, the Prime Minister received several guests this past week. On Wednesday, he met with the new president and board of directors of the American Chamber of Commerce of Jamaica. Mr. Holness used the meeting to share his administration's crime-fighting efforts and vision of growth through community development. And the day before, Red Stripe executives updated the Prime Minister on the company's use of cassava and other local implements in their beer production. And that's how we close out Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time when we bring you more of the latest news coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.
Get the history behind the final resting place of some of our national heroes.
For a century and more, you could lay bets on the finest equine legs around Kingston town. Today, it stands in honor of those who played a heroic role in the development of free, independent Jamaica. If you were living in Kingston in the late 1700s and fancied a day at the races with enough quid and an eye for the fastest horseflesh, a purse of £100 sterling could be yours for the taking. This was the Kingston Racecourse, and for over a century it was the center for horse racing in Jamaica. It's believed to have been founded in 1783 and purchased by the Kingston Council in 1818 for £985 and 10 shillings. Back then, it was part of a property called Montgomery Pen, but the more appropriate name, Kingston Racecourse, would stick with the downtown site until the dawn of the 20th century when horse racing moved uptown. Throughout the centuries, what is now the National Heroes Park has witnessed many commonplace moments and historic occasions. Jamaicans of the 19th century might have enjoyed a game of cricket, a bit of cycling, or even a traveling circus. On August 2, 1838, newly freed men and women gathered for grand festivities to mark full freedom. Half a century later, their children came out to celebrate Queen Victoria's Golden and Diamond Jubilees. And in 1891, in a building called Quebec Lodge, the Jamaican National Exhibition was staged at this site on the spot of land now occupied by the Woolmer School. In the second half of the 1900s, the Kingston Racecourse was converted into a public park and renamed the King George VI Memorial Park in honor of the British monarch. A decade after Jamaica gained its independence from Britain, 74 acres of land on the former site of the Kingston Racecourse was redesigned and officially renamed the National Heroes Park. The 7 individuals awarded the Order of National Hero now hold permanent pride of place at the park. It's a final resting place for 3 of them: Marcus Garvey, Sir Alexander Bustamante, and Norman Washington Manley. The others, George William Gordon, Nanny of the Maroons, Paul Bogle, and Sam Sharp, are immortalized in works of art. All have monuments erected in their honor. The National Heroes Park is no gloomy graveyard, but it is the burial site for such Jamaican luminaries as past Prime Ministers Michael Manley and Sir Donald Sangster. The remains of other national figures in the arts, politics, and social welfare are also interred in the park. The site also holds a mass grave for 144 elderly men and women killed in a fire at the Myers Ward of the Eventide Home for the Aged in 1980. And in 1953, the Jamaica War Memorial, or Cenotaph, was relocated from Church Street in downtown Kingston to the National Heroes Park. The 1.5-ton cenotaph stands in tribute to those soldiers who died during World Wars I and II. Members of the island's defense force maintain a constant vigil at the cenotaph, and on the first Sunday of every month, there is a ceremonial changing of the guard, complete with music by the Jamaica Military Band. For the 2012 Labor Day celebrations in the year of Jamaica's Golden Jubilee, the National Heroes Park was chosen as the national project. It recognized not just the heroic figures that are entombed or memorialized at the site, but also the many landmark events that continue to take place there, like the December 1976 marriage of music and politics to promote peace.
Roots people, said I see you having fun, rocking to the roots and rocker, oh island in the sun,
Stand up and get in the race.
I can become the master of my destiny.
Step up your stride, make we work like a harder. Do it like Veronica, more than a supper.
We can rise above the challenges and shine.
Was with passion in your heart. Make a plan and stop all the hyping. You think that's so? We reach out the edging. I can, you can. Like our Olympians, every Jamaican can.
The Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport recently expanded its Culture Passport program. Through this initiative, Jamaicans, particularly children, will get access to heritage sites free of cost or at a reduced fee. Let's go behind the doors of one of Kingston's many sites.
With its establishment in 1974, the National Gallery of Jamaica is the oldest and largest public art gallery in the English-speaking Caribbean.
We inherited in 1974 a collection of Jamaican art from the Institute of Jamaica. It was a very small collection at the time, about 220 works of art, paintings and sculptures. Our collection since then has grown to more than 1,800 pieces.
Starting out at Devon House, the National Gallery of Jamaica was moved to the Roy West building on the Kingston waterfront in 1983. What was meant to be a temporary relocation until a new gallery was built has become the long-term, if not permanent, home of the National Gallery of Jamaica. But it's not hard to see why the gallery remains at this locale.
We have about 36,000 square foot of facilities here, 30,000 of which are exhibition space.
The NGJ speaks to the history, the breadth and depth of Jamaica's visual arts. It tracks the development of an indigenous visual art from pre-Columbian to contemporary times, giving visitors an idea of the different streams of art and artists, Jamaicans, persons in the diaspora, and those artists operating out of Jamaica. As a result, visitors have a wide array of artworks to choose from, paintings, drawings, to sculptures, ceramics, photography, installations, and now video art.
The National Gallery has been great, I have to say. It's my first time here and I'm really impressed with the variety of works as well. So I've seen some of the sculptures and some of the paintings and the mixed media, and it's all been very interesting.
Repeat visitors need not fear that they will see the same exhibits every time they come to the National Gallery of Jamaica. While the NGJ has predominantly permanent and semi-permanent exhibits, there are at least 5 temporary exhibits per year. These exhibits range from a variety of subjects, including national exhibits like the National Visual Arts Competition and the Biennial Exhibition, solo exhibits or retrospectives on a particular artist, thematic exhibitions, and exhibits focused on a certain aspect of Jamaican art. The NGJ provides a range of services to the over 20,000 visitors it receives annually. Students and children make up the bulk of this figure, demonstrating the interest, appreciation, and future of the Jamaican art scene.
we have a small library and archive on Jamaican art, so students come here to do research. On that, we provide guided tours of the National Gallery. We have a children's art program on Saturday mornings. It's a free program. It's funded by Chase. We also organize lectures, panel discussions, film showing. In terms of visitor services, we have a gift shop, we have a coffee shop. We also provide various support services for instance, people who want to publish about Jamaican art and who need assistance with copyright issues, with access to images.
How is the National Gallery of Jamaica funded?
We have received no capital allocation to acquire works of art for most of our existence. We have, however, been able to develop our collection by means of donations. We also seek sponsorship, and then we also have some internal revenues from admissions, from donations in our donations box, our gift shop, our coffee shop. But donations really, I think, at present represent the bulk of our collection's development.
As the quintessential public gallery and museum, the National Gallery of Jamaica is staying true to its mandate to collect, research, document, and preserve Jamaican and other Caribbean art and related material while promoting our artistic heritage for the benefit of present and future generations. So if you have some time, come on by. The NGJ can be contacted by calling 922-1561-3. And if going to the NGJ is not possible, there is always cyberspace.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Original.
And that's how we close out today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Have comments, queries, or suggestions? Email us, jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. You may also catch up on the latest news stories coming out of Jamaica land we love by visiting our website, jis.gov.jm. We're also available on all the major social media platforms. And what's more, we have a mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.